Oh, a little bit of our traditional songs here on ELBC Radio, the Liberian folklore. You love the kind of songs, but again, it's time for us to drink from the cup of wisdom. A Liberian legal practitioner, and, politician of the Alternative National Congress. Honorable, your politician, Honorable Business. You like it too, sir? Welcome to the show.
Just call me Aloysius too.
Aloysius C.
Aloysius too.
What's the middle?
I'm J. Aloysius too.
J. Aloysius. What's J for?
J. Blamidion.
We'll go into that another time. But so you wear your gear, then we can start a conversation. You've been out and about the country campaigning. The results came. What was your first reaction when you listened to the radio, the ANC, you Secretary General, you got your war room and stuff, and then the numbers weren't coming your way?
We were shocked. We were quite shocked. We worked hard. We worked very, very hard. We took, in my opinion, the best message to the Liberian people. But ultimately, the Liberian people, the Liberian voters are the jurors, and they finally decided that they were not ready for us.
They weren't ready for you, meaning that they could be ready another time.
Precisely.
Now, so what was it? Some people, you got to go to a meeting. Let's take it to the court. Let's discount the results. Fatherland. What was your overall reaction in terms of an official statement from the ANC CPP as it pertains to the results?
Well, we have reservation about the pattern and the trend of the results of the elections.
Okay.
For which our leadership requested the National Elections Commission to allow us access to the ballot so that some forensic experts can examine the ballot. But that's besides the point.
The 1.8 million ballot papers?
The ballot papers.
Wow, okay.
Sample of the ballot papers.
Okay.
We want to have access to that.
For forensic examination?
For some forensic examination so that we can be sure that the election was free.
What is next reaction?
We are still awaiting response from there.
All right. So it's like water under the bridge, or you still
not water on the bridge? We are still waiting for that.
So while we've advanced from the point of your reservation to the point of waiting, we are here for November 14, and the international community, EU, the US government, the EU, and ECOWAS, as well as the Manu River, have all acclaimed or given some approbation to a peaceful, transparent elections. Where is assuming that parties are splitting, the Standard Bureau can go away and the Vice Bureau is all way, but where is the CPP stroke the ANC?
The CPP stroke the ANC have made an announcement and to endorse the re-election of President Weah. So this is where we are. The CPP has resolved, and as you know, the CPP is composed of the Liberty Party and the Alternative National Congress, ANC. Both parties make up the CPP, and they have resolved that they are going to support the re-election of President Weah and Madam Joe Howard-Taylor. On account of that endorsement, they are vigorously campaigning door to door. Our partisans, our structures have been activated, and they are working along local communities to inform the Liberian people that come October 14th, next week, Tuesday, the better choice for this country at this time is President Weah for his re-election.
So prior to an official statement from the ANC stroke CPP or CPP stroke ANC, there were conditions laid that Mr. Cummins said if party A or B will satisfied, then we'll go your way. So are you convinced, although you've already made a formal pronouncement, but did the CDC meet all of the 12 or 10-12 conditions for which you gave your support?
Several meetings were held with both the Unity Party and the CDC, and our team of negotiators and our engagement in place before the Unity Party and the CDC, those 12 policy proposals that we should call conditions, At the end of the day, the CPP Executive Committee became convinced that all of the 12 policy proposals, the CDC showed demonstrated commitment to implementing and executing all of them. So, on account of the good faith, the demonstration of commitment by the CDC, the executive committees of the Liberty Party and the ANC, and by extension, the executive committee of the CPP made a decision and resolved to endorse the CDC for re-election.
Mr. Toh, by your position, you started most of the conversation officially or unofficially, probably wearing around the call you on the phone. These are the conditions. So you have 12 on the record. Was there any off the record conversation about financial inducement to say, look, maybe inducement is not a word, but financial settlement? We've gone to the campaign, we've spent money, 12 on the book, but the 13th one is that you got to give us our money back, so we endorse you.
Never. No such thing happened now.
That you know of?
Absolutely not.
So then
I'm speaking as Secretary General of the CPP, so it's not something that I know of or don't know about. Right. I'm telling you, no such discussion.
So you know about everything that happened
I know about everything that happened.
All right. So one of the things we've always tried to connect is the endorsement and campaign, but they are not connected, because you can endorse and sit on the fence and say, let's see how it plays out. How much are you in the field? 29,000 votes you accumulated. Is that 618 votes? How much are you going to do to ensure that that number of votes already go towards the CDC, and then getting more to add to Mr. Weah winning?
I just explained that. I said our force soldiers are in the field. Our structures at the community level, at the district level, have been activated, and they are going from door to door, not only to our partisans but to other Liberians, to encourage them to vote for President Weah on November 14. So
now, somebody listening is a United Party president, and somebody listening is a CDC president. What makes the CDC the option over Mr. Boyka?
It is clear. First, I explained to you, from the perspective of the ANC, one, because the ANC, from the perspective of the CPP, one, because the CDC accepted and showed more inclination and more commitment to implementing our policy proposals. But that besides the point. Look, let me tell you one thing. I said you've been around here. And I was in advocacy when the UP was in power. I know the UP very well. If the UP were to take power back in this country is going to go 10 years backwards. The UP would take this country 10 years backward if they were able to return to power.
The UP of Elling or the UP of Boyka?
That's the Unity Party.
Okay.
I'm talking about a Unity Party that led this country for 12 years. If they were to take power, this country is going to go 10 years backwards. Now, in order to avert that...
1 minute. The folks in the current United Party saying there is not a United Party of Madam Salif. This is a new United Party, and we can do it better than what Madam Salif did.
Show me any new person there. Show one new person in this current United Party that was not in the United Party of yesterday.
Eugene Fagon.
You mean Eugene Fagon?
He's supposed United Party. He says that he will work to bring the change.
Well, is Eugene a member of the United Party?
Well, he's supposed the ideology.
I think he just endorsed Ambassador Joseph Boyka.
So you believe that the two United Party are the same?
The composition,
okay.
The composition of the current United Party is one and the same Unity Party that existed and ruled this country for 12 years.
So they will take Liberia 10 years backwards? 10 years backwards. Is there nothing good that they did from 2005 or 2006 to 20?
So comparatively, there is nothing they did better than the CDC government.
Okay.
If you compare both of them on the scale of corruption, the United Party was more corrupt than the CDC government. Even their own ideologue, their own strategist, John Molu, accused the United Party government of being 10 times corrupt than any other government that exists in this country. It's not my words. These are the words of the former Auditor General of the Republic of Liberia, who is now even supporting the Unity Party. He said the Unity Party was 10 times corrupt than any other government that exists in this country. So when you are talking about corruption, the corruption is not only consigned. If you look at the scale of corruption that existed under the UP government, it's even worse.
Maybe the folks have changed.
What happened to the $10 million from Mokal? What happened to the $30 million from the European Union for for health
There's a wise man changes. So maybe the folks.
What happened to the 66 concessions, bogus concessions that were signed by the United Party government? What happened to the 77 audit reports that indicted everybody in the United Party government?
So Mr. Boyka says, this time I will be in charge. On all of the deficiencies or all of the pitfalls you're naming, concession agreement, 10 million on the car, that was under the United Party of Madam Salif. Mr. Boyka is saying, I'm a different person. I will be in charge of the party, and there will be a different United Party.
Oh, so the United Party changes color based on who's in charge? The United Party has a manifesto.
The driver.
They have a plan, governance plan to rule this country. They use that governance plan to rule this country and plunge this country into mess. So this country was on a very good path where it was even predicted that Liberia would become a middle-class country. Where we are today, under the stewardship of the United Party government, this country went down the drain. And you want to return them back to power? No, we are not willing to go 10 years backwards.
Have you seen the list? And everybody was trying to doubt it until a guy established there was an official list that came up from the United Party. They were forming the government already. And you being around a political activist and a human rights advocate, have you been privileged to the list of the government that United Party was forming and in around the first week after the elections?
I've heard about it, but I did not have the opportunity to verify, so I cannot speak to the veracity of that list.
All right. This government, and you people have been engaged in the government, reviewing its activities. This Millennium Challenge Corporation for the United States government that will allow Liberia to benefit on a certain arrangement. Now, I don't know, coming at the time that we are at the elections, the MCC has released a report on Liberia. Have you been able to read it, and have you been able to honestly assess it and see whether we scored good marks in good governance, security, and empowering our business community?
I tried to look at that report, and not only did I look at it, I tried to compare that report, the performance of the WEA government and the United Party government in 2017. And strikingly, you will come to realize that the performance of the WEA government this year and last year is far more better than the performance of the United Party government in 2016 and 2017. So I gave you facts. For instance, the United Party government in 2016 and 2017 was able to pass only 10 of the 20 indicators. 10 of the 20 indicators. The WEA government has successfully passed 14 of the 20 indicators. So comparatively, you can tell that the WEA government performed better than the United Party government. One reason why the WEA government should be preferred. Now, if you look at the MCC report, that is not only a report by the MCC. The MCC is the United States Development Agency that brings together the views and the verdict of different international stakeholders. Yale University, World Bank, the IMF, the VDEM, the World Trade Organization, UNICEF, WHO. These organizations assess the performance of the WEA government and came with a verdict. And the MCC staff placed all of that together and came to the conclusion that the WEA government passed 14 of the 20 indicators. Now, even at that, I will give you some examples. For instance, under the WEA administration was the first time Liberia ever passed the indicator on fiscal policy. During the United Party regime in 2017, Liberia stood at 26% under the United Party government. Today, under the WEA administration, Liberia is at 51%, compared to 26% and 51%. So you can see the extent to which the WEA government has taken the country compared to how the United Party government that received all of the international assistance in this country kept the country, even with inflation. Government effort in controlling inflation in the country. And inflation is about too much money, useless money, chasing few goods in the country, which also lead to higher prices. Under the United Party government, the MCC graded the United Party government 22%. Today, this year, the same international community, through her verdict, graded the WEA government, the CDC government, 67%, compared to 22% under the United Party government in 2017 and 67% under the WEA government in 2023. So who's performing better? Even in the eyes of the international system, the WEA government is better than the United Party government.
So what do you want to do with that information? Is it I don't follow when it's published. I have not followed it, but it's coming up, close to the elections. Can that be interpreted that the American government now is an approbation of or an acceptance that we can work with Weah, so he's doing better than the United Party government?
Without an attempt to involve the United States government into Liberian internal politics, this is a time the U.S. government can always come up with this report.
Oh, okay.
I mean, every government has enjoyed it, and unfortunately, it coincides with our electoral period, so it's not intended to.
And plays well for you. It plays good for you.
Coincidentally, look, this is it. I think it is a divine providence. Liberian people were confused whether the Weah government is making progress, because the negative propaganda that continues to come from the UP continues to indicate that the Weah government was not working. But the international community, in one chorus, have said the government is performing better.
All right.
In the area of the economy, in the control of corruption, in the area of rule of law, in the area of primary education and health, in the area of trade policy, the Weah government is doing better comparatively than the United Party.
This is the Liberian Broadcasting System and EBC Radio. We relay it on a number of stations across Liberia. I bet you're listening to Mr. J. Elisha Stowe, Secretary General of the Collaborating Political Parties, the CPP, and then he also the Secretary General of the Alternative National Youth Congress. Not Youth Congress, sorry, Alternative National Congress. Somebody say is a how do you call it? A breakaway CDC?
No, it's not breakaway CDC. What is true about the ANC is that the founding chairman of the ANC was the former chairman of the CDC. Orochogu was the former chairman of the CDC. He moved on, broke away from the CDC and founded the ANC. That is the reality. But if you look at the current composition of the ANC today, you realize that about 95% of the membership did not come from the CDC. About 5% came from the CDC, of the executives, not membership of the executive, came from the CDC, and funded and that was in 2011 or 2010.
Yeah, I will come with a few questions to you, Mr. Todd, and then you give us some of the reasons why, in terms of practical reality, now looking at the MCC scorecard on Liberia and the international assessment of the government and past governments, but I will leave you to the callers. They are so anxious. They've been waiting to gauge you on a number of issues. But we went to the elections. 1,000 plus persons ran for legislative seats. And then, I don't know if I may say, unfortunately, 8 women were elected to the 55th legislature. That's about, I don't know the mathematics, how many percent of 73 members. And then 3 senators, female senators, Putokanin, Daba Vapla, and Nyambli Kanga. 3 out of 30 persons are female. Are you disappointed that we didn't go to vote for more women? And how can you convince people that with 8 women in the House, 3 women in the Senate, that this female vice president will represent the gender how do we call it, the gender war?
That was, in my opinion, that was one of the greatest injustices that happened to the women, the great women of Liberia. I think we should have elected more women in government. We should have empowered our women to take over government. But that also sent a challenge to the Liberian people to now vote for the only ticket that has a woman. The only ticket that has a woman is the CDC ticket, Madam Joy Howard Taylor. So the women of Liberia need to get angry that this country has only rewarded them with 3 seats in the legislature and 8 seats in the House of Representatives, far less than the 30% everyone has been craving for. On account of that, I think the women of this country should rise up, rise to the occasion, insist and demand that their colleague in person of Joy Howard Taylor needs to be elected to the vice presidency of this country.
What much does that bring to them? How does it answer the question of women issues and girls, inadequacy for girls' education, health?
Madam Taylor has been a champion of girls' education and women empowerment. Having her at the vice presidency of this country is a great boost for the women of this country compared to the other ticket that has girls or men. I think the women should join the ticket that has one woman on it now and rise up and make sure that our ticket is elected. And that is the CDC ticket.
Are you saying that because that's the ticket you support?
It's not because I'm supporting. I'm telling you, and that's a fact. That's a factual reality. The only ticket that has a woman on it is the CDC ticket. CDC has demonstrated that she's committed to women empowerment, women inclusion, and women participation in politics by including Madam Joy Howard Taylor on her ticket. I am saying because of the great injustices that happen to women in this country, where they have been given only 3 seats in the legislature, in the House of Senate, and 8 seats in the House of Representatives, they should rise up and rebel politically by electing a woman to the vice presidency of this country.
We've been following current political developments, and the United Party folks, my brother Rabok Pade and Amos Tue were saying, look, if you want to put the figures together, Sheikh Koyate join us, Tewa Gongo join us, Alan Brown join us, Mr. Lucini Kamara join us. If you put their numbers accumulated in the October 10 elections, that number will far undo, because they already got in their closet 700 plus thousand votes. They say, since we had Mr. Appleton join us, our number are now consolidated and we will win the CDC. Where are you going to take your numbers from?
But I think that statement, that kind of conclusion is illusionary. Look, I'll tell you one thing. You cannot, Tawan Gonglo, Councillor Tawan Gonglo, and the LPP endorse the Unity Party. Politically, you cannot tell me that all the members of the LPP are going to vote for the Unity Party. It's not possible. The second point is ACOB. ACOB endorsed the Unity Party. But what happened? The very ACOB, different ACOB groups have been endorsing the CDC. So how are the large and huge ACOB endorsement in Kakata?
So with all this,
are you saying that all those members, all those people might have voted for ACOB? But now you are seeing it's a demonstration that most of them are divided. A lot of them are also going the CDC way.
So that put it the other way around. Will all the CPP people go to CDC?
That's why we are working on that. That's why we are encouraging them. So you realize it's one thing to have a leadership of a political party making decision, but you have the CPP that included her membership from the district level up to the county level in the decision making.
You haven't hired any brigade.
We haven't hired any brigade now.
Charlene Bronsky. Oh no, I saw that.
She's with us.
She's with you. You are with them. Charlene is with you, CPP.
Charlie is CPP.
So you are with. All right. So I saw the video of her campaigning in Grand Bassa. If she didn't get that much vote in Grand Bassa for herself, can she get it for the CDC?
It is very possible. It is very possible. Look, let me tell you something. Even both the CDC and the Unity Party don't believe that the votes that the CPP got were actually the votes that the CPP deserve. So I'll tell you one thing, and that's why we've asked the Elections Commission that we want to examine the ballot. So you have a situation, and 1 minute, excuse me.
Go ahead.
You have a situation where loyal people, about 67 of them, voted at a particular center. All of them, the voter CPP partisans and executive voted at a particular center, voted for the ticket of the CPP. And at the end of the day, only 3 votes came from that center in favor of the CPP. We know something is wrong, but that's not why we are here. So that's why we requested the Elections Commission that we want to investigate that, and we're going to investigate that. That is beside what is in front of us right now is next week Tuesday, the Labrador will go to the polls. They have 2 choices: the Unity Party and the CDC. And from all indications, Liberians are not willing to go backwards. Although there are governance challenges that continue to face the country under the CDC government, but those challenges can better be handled, and they are better. These conditions are better than the conditions we will experience under a Unity Party government. Backwards never. We're not going to go back to Unity Party in this country.
Mr. Aloysius Tue, Anthony, your councillor. Oh, I'm sorry to really get you, but there's no difference between that, right? Except that you graduated into another stage.
Yes.
J. Aloysius
so that's the difference.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Aloysius Tue is here as our guest. We will have to open the line shortly for you, so you will be a part of the conversation. We are broadcasting from ELBC in Pinsville, and we're all across Liberia on our own substations in Sino, Bombing, Bond, Grand Jude, Maryland, and Norfolk counties. And then we have a couple of partner stations that are relaying us across Liberia. The number I'd like you to call shortly is 080-514-096 CPP Secretary General. Is that automatic? CPP Secretary General is the Secretary General of the ANC?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So he's here.
The Secretary General of ANC is automatically the Secretary General of CPP.
All right. So this is the last question. I may have a question that will come up. Maybe someone will say that, when you're on the radio, you get a lot of information that could be, having some problems with all the information. But let me get this to you quickly. A united opposition 2020 tried to displace the ruling party in the senatorial elections. We saw in Maserado. How come you were in that united? And then you were there testifying against each other. You were there tearing one another apart, fighting internal war. The CPP was at the UP throat. The UP was at the CPP throat. ALP gone. Liberty Party split. How come you didn't just you didn't show leadership, whether it's from Mr. Bucker's side or from Mr. Cummins' side, to unite as an opposition? Because everybody was like, if this opposition is united from the results of the 2020 elections, you will undo the CDC. How come you just cut your own skin apart?
Mr. Alexander Cummins showed leadership to keep the opposition together. At least we thought it was a united opposition. Later did we realize that it was not a united opposition. In fact, one of the parties, the Unity Party, undermined the cohesion and the unity of the opposition community. And the reason is because the Unity Party says it's not even an opposition party. That's a former ruling party. I mean, what's the difference? When does one become an opposition party? You rule this country for 12 years. You're a ruling party. Then you see opposition. You just change color because somebody else in power. And your attitude show that when you're in power, every vice that is associated with bad governance, you display it. You press freedom. How many people were arrested because of what they say in this country under the Unity Party? How many corruption scandals did not come? Global Witness accused the Unity Party government of selling half of the country, selling the future of this country. Global Witness accused the Unity government. Foreign Policy magazine accused this government as being very worse at corruption. To the extent that they even question the utilization of $10 million that came from Local. Every vice that was associated with bad governance in this country was attributed to a Unity Party government. So at some point, we thought they were opposition, but they were not really opposition. They were former ruling party, and so they undermined the existence of what was known as the first CPP. And because they felt entitled, they feel that if they can't get it, nobody should get it. And if you are in their way, they use all kinds of schemes, propaganda, lies, and Gestapo type of politics to get at you. So they broke down what was known as the United Opposition.
So you feel betrayed?
Of course, and that's why we cannot trust the Unity Party.
All right. Oh, that's why you can trust them.
You can't trust them now.
No,
you cannot trust them.
Oh, you can trust the Unity Party. ELBC Radio, I think I should allow you now to make your inputs on the show here. J. Aloysius Tor, an astute legal person that followed him. He's a civil rights advocate talking for people. He now says between the two together, I think is a worst case scenario or lesser evil. So let me hear from you, the wonderful people of Liberia. Call and make your points, agree or disagree. We try to arrange one more show to bring the Unity Party people here so that they can defend it. If they have an opportunity to, they can call the lines. We'll give them some time to either react, agree or disagree with Mr. Aloysius Tor here on the ELBC Radio. We'll go to the social media and read your comments. I just want you to make useful inputs on the social media, not just I'm watching, I'm viewing, but something that will help the conversation to be more healthy. ELBC Radio, let me go first to this caller. I'd like the females to call and talk about that gender thing. I'd like you to call too and talk about some of the issues Mr. Tor raised. Hello? Hello? Your line is good. I can keep you.
Yeah, hello?
Relocate. All right, you're coming a little better. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, I am Mr. Kelvin. I call from Western, precisely. I am here listening to the panelists, and then I love his analysis. I said, the secretary of CPP instituted, I said it all, that the decision that was taken by CPP to go the George Weah way is the best alternative, because after they had gone in their closet, then they came out to scale the two parties that are running for the runoff. They understand that George Weah government has done more work than the party.
All right, Kevin. So, thank you for One Town. Thank you so much for your contribution, Kevin from One Town, Ray Hill community. Hello? Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, sir.
Hello? Is it ELBC, right?
ELBC. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for Councillor Toh.
Go
The
ahead.
point here is that if Councillor Toh knew that the CDC government was doing very well, why did he preach against the CDC government up to the last minute for October 10 election? That now he coming to praise the CDC government. Is it because he had been promised a government position, or why?
All right. Your question is,
the interest of the country.
you've already taken note whether he's been promised a position or whether it's in the interest of the country. We'll take 3 more calls, give him some time to respond, and then we come back to you, the telephone people. Hello? Hello? Oh, too bad. Sorry. I must have interrupted that person. I didn't mean that. Sorry. Hello? Please call to... okay, go ahead.
Hello?
You're live.
ELBC, right?
Please go ahead. You're busy, right?
My friend, because of the that you guys have to move if I wasn't at where the different. You guys realize seriously government and doing well for them. And then all the time they push and make a good picture for the government. Anyway, for the sake of the other and James, so that and then chairman for the youth, he has this number 3. You guys have to move to be fine.
Chairman for the youth for which party?
Hello?
Chairman of youth for which party? You chairman of youth for which party?
No, I'm not for the party, I don't use chairman.
Oh, youth chairman. All right. Thank you so much. You made your point. You said
We have just started war, but we're not going to be there war for the guy and funny message they are pushing on the radio.
who guys now? Who the guys?
Like the one are the ANC, the Costa, Honor Costa, and the police. They are not doing well for us.
Okay, thank you.
To be frank.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Maybe Spawn doing well for you. Let me take more calls here. Hello? 2 more to go. I like females to call in on the show. Hello? Go ahead.
Good evening, Isaac.
Go ahead, sir. Your name and where you call from.
Thank you for having me. I'm Emmanuel M. Super Jr., and I joined the conversation from the Office of the Inter-Ledger Plaza District number 14. Well, let me say good evening to your studio guest. I think I listened to him and elaborated lengthily and quite well. They made the right decision, and like him put it, I think if you want to compare the Unity Party and the CDC, you put them on the political microscope, on the developmental microscope, you have found out that the CDC has performed more, advanced, more better than the Unity Party. This is the reason we are of the argument, or we are the device that want to caution the young people who are in majority, because majority of the voters that attend to what the CDC are young people who see the people who are fading away try to go to the Unity Party. Why it is true there are some wise old folks who have taken the development or tribal line, development or regional line, and they have decided to support the CDC. So let me appreciate the Leonard Council and the CPB for taking this brilliant step. So
all right. You made your point. You made your point. I just like to inform our audience for the television tonight. We have on the television, we're having a show here on the television. The former chairman of the CPP in Nimba County will be on the television tonight at 9 o'clock. Paul Zodor Wei, former chairman of CDC in Nimba, will be on the radio. Sorry, the television this evening. On tomorrow, Friday, a special edition of the show, we are talking to the correspondents from the 87 community radios. We've gotten them as stringers from different radio stations to come and talk about the political developments in the county, deployment of materials from NEC, and some of the other actions like endorsement in the counties. I will now join Mr. I'm reading from the social media here that Joe Poto, a close associate or affiliate of the Unity Party, I don't know whether he's a member, has gone back to the CDC. I'm reading from the social media, and it has to be authenticated. Joe Poto, one of the background financiers of the Unity Party, has gone back to the CDC. We have to validate or verify that information, but it's coming from the social media. I bet you took notes, and I'd like to add to one of the callers. You were one of those who were criticizing the government. You made the government look bad. If a matter of fact, Costa and one of you call for protest, call for sanction. Now, how come now when things were going like this, then you come by and say the government is doing good?
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
So yes, we criticize the CDC government. We pointed out the many challenges the CDC government faced, the many shortcomings of the CDC government. At that time, we had more qualified librarians who were also opting for the presidency, and we have better solutions to give to this country. Here we are faced with only two choices: the United Party and the CDC. So despite the fact that we criticized the CDC government yesterday, we are saying that we cannot move from west of ridiculous. The CDC government...
And you don't want to sit on the fence.
And we don't want to sit on the fence.
Okay.
So since we criticized the CDC government yesterday as being producing some worse results yesterday, the situation we have right now is between the West and ridiculous. The United Party is ridiculous. We cannot move from West to ridiculous.
That reminds me of
so we renew the CDC.
The Yoruba and the person. So
we criticized the CDC yesterday, but with the two choices we have, the CDC is still better.
All right. You can jump from the smoke and get in the fire.
No, we cannot.
All right. I'll just still here answering some of the questions. You probably want to look at your notes. I don't remember all the questions.
Yes, yes, I think that's it's the same thing. The gentleman who was asking that we said that the CDC government, I would now say CDC is doing well when we criticized them yesterday. And it's true. And we have no apology for criticizing the CDC government yesterday. We stood by what we said yesterday, but at the same time, we have a situation now where you have only a UP and a CDC. And by all standards of comparison, the CDC is better than the UP. Look, I'll tell you one thing. If you accuse the CDC government of being corrupt, look at that corruption as a group of people stealing petty cash. And you will know that they're stealing the petty cash. That's the CDC government. When it comes to the United Party government, the United Party will steal $1 billion. And as somebody said, they will bring you other report that $1 billion and still convince you and make you to believe that the $1 billion, they will bring receipts for the $1 billion, even though they stole it. So if you have a kind of sophisticated system like that is going to wreck this country, took this country, you better don't go there and stay with the CDC that we know.
So you're suggesting that you will still be critical of the CDC if the CDC is elected.
Precisely.
You still
Precisely. We are not succumbing to the CDC. We are saying between the UP and the CDC, the laboratory should go to the CDC. Otherwise, the UP will take this country 10 years backwards.
There is this notion created as a result of the CPP identifying with the CDC that, and Mr. Molu said that this is a credit we owe you. Does that mean that 2029? The CDC will push Mr. Cummings for the presidency?
My brother, I'll tell you one thing. If your neighbor, was in need of some assistance and you render him the assistance, and your neighbor tells you that I will never forget what he did for me. One day, if you need me to, I will be there. That's a promise from the neighbor. That boy is not a mutual credit. It's not a mutual promise.
There's no understanding on that.
There's no mutual understanding of that. That's a CDC way of saying, look, thank you for what you did. Tomorrow, if you fall in our shoes, we'll remember you. Simple as that.
Okay, let's take the politics to the regional level. Hate to say tribal, but at some point, some counties went blue because traditional loyalty or support. Some counties went green because of cultural affiliation or assimilation. Do you subscribe to the fact that Eastern, despite President Weah started the rule from Nimba, from Ganta to Seklepie, means they're going towards the southeast, and from Banga to Lofa, but the Nimba people still voted for Jeremiah Kung, and the Lofa people still voted for Mr. Joe Boyka at the range of 73,000 votes to 35,000 votes. Do you subscribe to the fact that people are still being traditional? They're voting on tribal sectorial link, or it should be opened?
I'm not in a position to cast verdict on any group of Liberian voters. What I can tell you is President Weah, from his politics, is not sectionalistic. It's not tribalistic. His development agenda is not only consigned to his tribe. You just said that there's a very big role that is coming from Nimba County. that has not even reached his southeast. That should tell you that this president is the president of Liberia and for all Liberians. This is why his development is spread throughout the entire country and not only from the region he's from. Now, Liberian people are wise. Liberian people are aware that this president development is for all Liberians, whether you are from the east, whether you are from the south, whether you are from the north or from the west. His development reaches everyone. Whether you are from Lofa, you are from Bapolu, you are from Cape Mount or Bumi or Grand Jide or Nida County, Bon County, Grand Bassa County, Sando County, Maryland, Riverside, wherever you are from. This president's development reaches everyone. It's not given because he believes you vote for him. It's given because he believes you are Liberian and you deserve it.
I'll go back to the line shortly. But there's this critical part of the Weah government and the challenge for re-election, Mr. Too. I've traveled, I've talked to people, I've called across the country, and some people say, "Is that President Weah? Is it by you people who are appointed by him?" Do you have an opposite view about appointees like people, assistant ministers? And they say, look, President Weah is a peaceful president. He has an intent to work towards improving the livelihood of the people, but people who are with him in the government, including some of us, the problem. Do you subscribe to that kind of guilt by association or collective guilt?
So before you impose guilt by association, you have to know what the problem is. What is the problem that the people around here are causing? I have to be convinced about the problem before I can know who caused it. Two, I think it is myopic to claim that if there's a problem, it's either the president or the people that are around him. First, there must be a problem, and then you have to go to the source of the root of the problem to see who's causing the problem. So I'm not going to.
So if you balance it that way, I don't have the problem with your answer. Then do you think people are fighting the movement because it's a matter of job or to come back to power?
Every Liberian has the right to compete for the presidency of this country. I think it is an exercise of that democratic right that they are doing. There are times that people like some political parties like us who make honest criticisms of the government. We speak factually on the shortcomings and failings of the Weah government. We do not manufacture lies like some of our friends on the other side who, because out of propaganda, we put lies together and magnify the lies to make it appear as if the lies are true. So you have to differentiate people who honestly criticize the president because of the shortcomings of the president versus those who, because of propaganda, because of greed for power, because of their perception of entitlement, manufacture and create lies and make it to appear that the president is doing wrong when he's not doing wrong.
All right, I'll go to the telephone line shortly. Let me go to this. I see a lot of reaction from the folks from the United Party. Quite correct. Sorry, I just seen this. Political couple pass away. See this. No, I can't accept the kind of thing on the Lasanan Drukba Sise, we agree. JMB 1. Monumba Yoko, I'm following you from Japan Freeway. Elijah Boyman, I'm very close. I'm following closely from my little corner here in Lofa Bridge, Kola Kanen District, Grand Kitma County. Abraham Political Madrid Situ, I'm watching you live from the most talk about Bagoba Avenue. This is a regular viewer. Ezekiel Nibo, you are not compelled to talk on the show. JMB will still win these elections. ANC folks, Elo, Liberia First, I don't know who runs that page. David Giffler, you guys are jokers. David Giffler comes back and says, how is the passing positively affecting the lives? The MCC scorecard, how is it affecting the lives of the people? Senior Samuel Daniel, good afternoon. I'm following you from Zredu, Grand Jide County. Good afternoon, Mr. Red. I'm closer following you from Zilia Town. That's near my own place there called Bearstown, Zredu. Julie Wongwe, CDC 6+6, 12 victories assured. Julie Wongwe comes again with the CDC, number 2 for Better Liberia. Good afternoon, I'm Chris. Oh, I need glasses maybe. Wajili, closely following you from Plebo, Solocan, Maryland County. Chris Blagay, CDC all the way. So CDC and UP, November 4. Let's go to the telephone line. Not many more minutes here. I hope I can get Mr. To come back with a United Party president some days. Hello? You live, oh, stop talking to your family. Why they cook salad or pan butter? It's time for us to talk. Hello?
How are you?
Chala Griffith, go ahead. All right, Maurita, go ahead, make your point. You listening to the radio?
I want to tell you, student guys, thank you. I want to tell you, student guys, thank you in Saturday all. You see, my brother, people voting President we are not because of travel business, especially we are from the southeast. We are not voting President we are because he's from the Not my head, they ain't me now.
You're not voting for Southeast. What are you voting for him for?
And the Southeast, they voted for Ellie. They voted for Ellie.
All right.
They voted for Ellie.
Okay, man, we just do. You made your point. Thank you.
Because of journalists.
All right.
Doing that because the way that you get in the terror count.
All right, let's go back. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. But chickens of fried chicken normally vote for the CDC. But anyway, you live there, so that's your choice. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello, how are you?
Make your point quickly. Your name, where you call from?
Yeah, I'm called Moses Melsi. I do come from Lofa County.
Which part of Lofa County?
Vonjama City, the capital.
No, you calling from Tebelme or Basiquato?
Oh, you get it 100% Tebelme community.
All right, go ahead, make your point.
Thank you for your show. I want to say thank you to the studio guests. You know, people talk about criticism. I believe that criticism making the government and our president to perform. So it's not bad to criticize. When people criticize you, it strengthens you to perform. This is why we are scoring the scorecard for the American people government. Thank you very much for your show, my brother.
You didn't call your name. He's gone. All right. From Tebelman, one of the popular areas in Vonjama, where you found all the Socrates. They look. There's a Vonjama man calling there. Let me go to the telephone line and hear you. Two more, then we take the last voice from Mr. Aloysius Tour. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, my name is James Topaway. I'm calling you from Boys Town in Marshall.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate the Honorable Land Councilor for the deliberation for this evening. You know, the CPP allowed 12 cardinal points that they wanted that the CDC could meet or the political party could meet. I think the CDC met quite some of those points. First of all, gender equality, the issue of gender equality, the fact that the president, the CDC is carrying a female vice presidential candidate is an indication that the CDC mean well for gender equality. Secondly, they also registered a fight against corruption. Now that the Melina scorecard came out and indicated that the government may have way in corruption, is another indication.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I think
Thank you.
Right, and I think the government is doing well. So we all should vote for the CDC.
All right, thank you so much. Let me discontinue your call and take this caller. Could be our last caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you're live on ELBC.
Something calling from Great College Issue 1 County.
Oh, there's district number 1. Gwenikwala area?
Alright.
Gwenikwala?
I'm the Great College Issue 1 County.
Oh, great. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me comment the still guys for his deliberation. You see, we voted for the president because of development. The president, what he has done in less than 4 years, is beat all government performance. So the problem I have is, two officials will come from all over the country, can meet the citizens, no live in Bangor, we don't come to the rural area. And the two are we just political love the president. If you check on the website, you see a man of both the president gets on the pass, they are just one. Oh, but two come in, you don't get time for it, come in.
You're correct. You're correct. Thank you. Thank you. You're correct. This time, Gwenikwala and District 1 Pa, you did well from the statistics from the CDC. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
He's encouraging government officials, and I was talking about people not going back to the people, and everything is the president. So, if you listen to some of the callers, most of them, or almost all of them, are applying the same route you're applying, that President Weah should be allowed to continue with the peace and development of the country. So, I give you an opportunity to wisely use your 3 minutes.
I think Liberians have an opportunity now to ensure that we maintain the peace that we've got in this country. We've experienced 6 years of uninterrupted peace, and I think we should keep it that way, considering the two options we have in the elections. President Weah and Madam Joy Hawatila are the best at this time, compared to the other two. The other two we have on the other side. I think Liberians should remain resolved that they are going to elect President Weah next week, Tuesday on the 14th. And at the end of the day, we are going to have the re-election of President Weah. Look, this country is not willing to go backwards. The challenges, the governance challenges, the CDC government face, I think we should should help the CDC government to remain faithful to her words. We should keep their feet to the fire constructively, reminding them of their obligation to the Liberian people, and at the same time ensuring that this country. But we cannot, because of disagreement with the CDC government, we cannot take this country and place it in the hands of another party that is going to carry this country backward. No, that can never happen, and that should not happen.
I just like to hear that name again. J stands for
Jake Blavin Daniel.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to our studio. We hope we can have another time.
Thank you. Anytime.
We'll bring the United Party to debate with you.
I'm free. Anytime.
All right.
Anytime.
So thank you so
If
much.
you want to bring them tonight, call me. I will come back.
All right.